Thank you so much, our the representative of the chief guest, Dr. Oparanya, distinguished guests, our board of trustees, the staff, stakeholders, participants, partners. Good afternoon. I'm so excited to see you here. I'm very, very happy for you taking time off your busy schedule to celebrate with us this great milestone. I'm sure from morning, for those who are here since morning, have already have a very good idea of the direction in which MESPT is going. We are basically taking this further. We are taking the steps further to on financial inclusion. We want to ensure that our young people, our young agri-entrepreneurs are able to access credit and invest in agriculture and create meaningful job opportunities for themselves and their families. We want to make sure that we unlock opportunities that exist in the ecosystem, and we want to ensure that we work with each one of you in this room and outside this room to really build a sustainable future for our country, Kenya. So we'll proceed. Because most of it has been discussed, I'll really brush through pretty quickly so that we can still remain within time. A small introduction about our organization. We were founded in 2002, working with smallholder farmers, agri-SMEs, financial service providers, and rural communities to alleviate poverty. And we work along the agricultural value chain. I think you've had a lot of discussions around agricultural value chains and market systems development. And our strength is in BDS and financial inclusion, where we drive inclusive growth, create job opportunities, and build sustainable MSMEs in Kenya. Our vision is to build a resilient and prosperous society, and we advance sustainable inclusive business, development, and financial solutions to smallholder farmers and agri-SMEs in Kenya. I think all through when you walked into this room, you must have appreciated our core values. And just to bring it to your attention, we value inclusion. And that is why every member of our community, whether a young person, a person with disability, or a man or a smallholder farmer, we value all of them and we respect them, and we ensure that they are part of our development process. We also uphold integrity, and in whatever we do, we take account, and we are very transparent in our processes and ensure that our partners and stakeholders appreciate what we do, and we walk the journey together. We answer solutions, we provide solutions with excellence and quality, and we will continue to carry that forward into 2030. We appreciate innovation and co-creation, and that is why most of the work that we have done in the past and what we are going to do in future is going to be built on the abilities in this room and outside this room through co-creation opportunities where we will co-create solutions to address the challenges that we face. And finally, sustainability, which is indeed committing ourselves to creating lasting value and equitable impact for all stakeholders, the society, and our environment. So I'll walk you through the journey. I think you've really heard that a lot, especially from the financial service providers that have been here. MESPT was founded in 2002, and over time, our agenda has been to address barriers in financial inclusion in the agricultural sector. We've done that working a lot with SMEs and also working a lot with SACCOs, MFIs, microfinance banks. And we've done that all through to our last strategic plan, which our mill manager was able to present the impact to you. But one significant milestone of the 2021-2025 strategic plan was our deliberate decision to really establish concessional lending. We relooked at our financial access model, and we acknowledged the fact that credit is expensive. And we wanted to ensure that we unlock opportunities for smallholder farmers to be able to access credit and invest in agriculture and create meaningful opportunities for themselves and for the communities they serve. And therefore, we launched concessional green and agri loans, and we made it deliberate that we are going to invest in agriculture. And we are going to make sure that we work to really bring meaning to agriculture, because we pride ourselves that agriculture is indeed the backbone of our country. And therefore, we thrive on that to make sure that the products we build together with the financial service providers can be able to attract smallholder farmers and invest in agriculture. So through that journey, we are now repositioning ourselves. I think you've already heard from our partners that we need to go beyond projects. We need to reposition ourselves and influence the ecosystem, the system that unlocks opportunities for farmers, for young people, for women. And therefore, in the past decades, we've built strong experience supporting farmers and enterprises. And in our new strategic shift, we are looking at enabling systems to work. We want to work with last mile partners that interact directly with the farmers, with the young people, with women, and we want to ensure we unlock opportunities through last mile partners to be able to deliver value to the smallholder farmers. We all know that Kenya's agricultural context has many challenges. As MESPT, we've identified key challenges that we want to try and together address. Of course, as agriculture remains central to our economy, we still have a lot of challenges that affect the smallholder farmers. Of course, we have the climate shocks. We have women and youth that face significant financing gaps. We have weak market systems that are fragmented. We still have policy and regulatory gaps. And these are the things we want to work on together with yourselves to make sure that we are able to fast track and catalyze progress in the development and growth of agriculture into 2030. So our theory of change is built on 4 ifs, that if farmers strengthen climate resilience and business capacities, if financial institutions expand inclusive and green finance, if enterprises access structured markets and partnerships, and if women and young people and people living with disabilities are intentionally targeted with services, then productivity and sustainability will increase, institutions and enterprises will become more resilient, Kenya will move towards a more inclusive society, and incomes, jobs, and economic participation will increase. That is our theory of change. By 2030, aims at scaling access to responsive agri and green financial services and facilitating Kenya's transition to an inclusive, climate-resilient agri-food system. We are positioning ourselves to reach 500,000 smallholder farmers, and 60% of which will be women, out of which 50% will be young men and women. We are looking at creating 100,000 job opportunities and income opportunities. And we are looking into achieving this through 4 strategic pillars. The first pillar is on scaling inclusive agri and green finance, strengthening business development services and market-led growth, climate adaptation, resilience, and sustainability, and strengthening systems, partnerships, and policy. On to our first pillar of inclusive agri and green finance. And listening into the panel discussion that has just, that came before me, you've heard them say that, yes, we have received wholesale loans. We've worked to develop appropriate financial products that are appropriate for the value chains that are within the geographies where they are in. But they still need more liquidity. They still need more capital. They need long-term financing. They need patient capital. And they need affordable capital for us to unlock these opportunities. So in our first pillar of inclusive agri and green finance, we are looking at expanding access to affordable agri and climate responsive finance for smallholder farmers and MSMEs. And we will achieve this by scaling our wholesale lending through last mile financial partners. You've heard a lot of them say that, yes, we got 100 million in debt from MESPT to be able to lend to smallholder farmers. And within 3 months, all that was exhausted and they needed more. When they came back to MESPT, we didn't have liquidity to give them more. So we need to identify opportunities for more resources that we can be able to lend more to these last mile financial partners so that they can be able to give credit, affordable credit to smallholder farmers, to young women and men. We are looking into promoting inclusive and gender responsive finance. They've talked about development of appropriate financial products. We have walked the journey with them before, and we are walking the journey with them again into 2030 to develop appropriate, different agricultural value chain financial products relevant to different geographies and different agricultural value chains, suitable for women, for smallholder farmers, for young entrepreneurs, for micro businesses, for small businesses, for medium enterprises. And we think we are going to unlock great opportunities and investments in agriculture by doing that. We want to catalyze green and climate finance investment in Kenya for a just transition, and we want to strengthen partner institutional capacity and risk management and mobilize more funding to support our agenda. You've heard about capacity building and how disintegrated it is. We want to make sure that in the next 5 years, we want to work with appropriate systems within the agri-sector to develop training materials that can be able to be easily accessible, whether virtually or through our training institutions. You heard us speak of strengthening capacity for training for agricultural training centers, which we called the ETIVET. In the past, we worked with them to refine the training curriculums and make sure that they have food safety included in them. We want to work with the same institutions that are renowned within the structures of our country that can be able to scale training and support coordinated approach to training and extension. We want to make sure that we tap into technology and ensure that training is accessible into the handheld devices that we work with, because our young people use those a lot. That's where their bank is, that's where everything is, and we want to bring the academy to them through their phones. So we are looking forward to working together with appropriate stakeholders in this space. We want to work on curriculums, on training modules around business development services, market systems, different agricultural value chain trainings, and we want to simplify that material and make it available through renowned systems within our country. The results: unlocking 375,000 farmers integrated into markets. We talked about, in our last strategy, we were quite shy with our targets, and we told ourselves, oh, we will just work with about 75,000. But the farmers have shown us that they are ready to work. And out of our last strategy, we were able to reach 112,000. We are saying now we are more ambitious. We want to do more with farmers. And we want to make sure that we integrate farmers into value chains, into markets, so that they can be able to access market for their commodities. Out of this, we will work with 500 MSMEs and cooperatives. We will strengthen the institutional capacity to serve their members better. So next time when we'll be launching our 2031 strategic plan, I think we'll have over 500 members or a representation from cooperatives and MSMEs and financial institutions really telling us how the journey has been. If I look at 2030, I see a brighter future, and I see a Kenya where everybody has opportunities to thrive. We're looking in this particular strategic pillar, we're looking at creating 20,000 jobs, and we're looking at 30% increase in sales turnover of MSMEs and cooperatives. Next. Pillar 2. Our second pillar is on business development services and market-led growth. I think you've had a lot of discussions around BDS and MSD. You've had a lot of business discussions, especially with the voices from the field, from our young entrepreneurs, and what we've been able to do with BDS. We are looking at strengthening agri-enterprise competitiveness and market integration. And we'll do this by strengthening the investment readiness of MSMEs. You've heard most of them say they're at the takeoff. We need to help them scale. So we've done all the idea generation. We've worked on the product, they have established their market, and now they're at takeoff. They want to scale, they want to grow their businesses, they want to employ more people, they want to grow, they're ambitious. They're telling us, give us scale. And therefore we are looking at ensuring that we facilitate them to achieve that scale that they're looking for. We want to ensure structured and sustainable market linkages for MSMEs, for smallholder farmers, for SMEs. I think we looked at our schedule and we saw it was going to be very congested, but we wanted to bring a dialogue here to really hear from the SMEs that have been in the space of export and really demonstrate to us how support in opening international markets has been for them. We want to do that for our young people so that they can also experience value in what they are doing. Facilitate agri-enterprise business acceleration and competitiveness, and promote adoption of sustainable technologies. You heard about circularity. We want to do that more and scale that more. Results, again, of course, that I'd already mentioned. We'll go on to Pillar 3. Pillar 3 is on climate adaptation, resilience, and sustainability, where we are looking at strengthening climate adaptation, resilience in agri-food system. We want to deepen climate-smart production and regenerative food systems, strengthen circular economy models and resource efficiency, strengthen community climate resilience and localized climate action, and ensure that we have green finance and climate-smart enterprises. Some of these emerging enterprises in green technology, waste and all will benefit from this. And we want to position ourselves to make sure that we engage with SMEs, cooperatives, smallholder farmers, but also within this pillar, create substantial amount of jobs and increase turnovers in those particular businesses. And our last pillar on systems, partnerships, and policy, it's really around coordination, enabling environment, influence, learning, and ensuring that research, innovation does not sit in the shelves of research organizations. We want to bring this to the fore. So we want to strengthen policy, influence, and ecosystem collaboration to contribute to systemic change. We will do this by strengthening multi-stakeholder platforms and policy dialogues, driving evidence-based policy reforms from the work we've done and the data we collect and the information we gather and the lessons we learn through the partnerships that we have. We can be able to package this into policy pieces that can be able to influence policy and drive an enabling environment within the agri and finance sector. We want to strengthen networks, value chain platforms, export market linkages, which we do and we will be doing, and we'll continue to scale that so that we are able to empower our MSMEs. And to that, we will ensure that climate priorities are integrated into county development plans, that policy briefs and evidence papers are produced and are used to influence policy direction and discussions. We strengthen national and value chain county platforms because it's through those value chain platforms that opportunities emerge, that challenges are discussed, that stakeholders are able to identify those gaps and be able to co-create solutions that can contribute towards solving them. We want to make sure that we strengthen the networks that bring all stakeholders together. Next. So with all that, these are our participants or our partners, smallholder farmers who operate on small parcels of land and face challenges in limited access to quality input, affordable credit, and lack reliable markets. Those are the people we will be looking for. Women entrepreneurs who face structural barriers such as collateral, social norms, and unequal access to resources. We will be working with those ones to really identify and see how best can we position them to be able to also live meaningfully and dignified lives. Young entrepreneurs who are digitally capable and innovative, but often excluded due to lack of credit history and limited networks. You've seen them. Just giving young people a platform to come and share their experiences and share their business and their opportunities in itself is a great opportunity. We want to do this to over 250,000 young women and men. We want to give them the pedestal upon which they will grow themselves and grow their businesses and contribute towards their growth and the growth of their fellow young people. We want to work with last mile partners, people, institutions that interact with the below of the pyramid, with the farmers, with the young people at the grassroots. You've heard their voices, the microfinance institutions, the SACCOs, the SMEs, you've heard them. We want to make sure that we strengthen their capacity. We support them in risk-sharing mechanisms. They've talked about guarantee mechanisms, insurance, reduce the jargon and make sure that we simplify information and training and deliver this in a meaningful and impactful way. Those are the participants that we are looking at working with moving forward. And so by 2030, out of the 500,000 smallholder farmers, I see 60% being women, 40% men, and out of that 50% will be young women and men. They will be integrated across, they'll be at the center of everything that we do. They'll be at the center of finance, they'll be at the center of markets, they'll be at the center of enterprise development, and they'll be at the center of climate resilience and sustainability. Our approach, therefore, we will prioritize depth of impact over breadth. I think maybe we were expecting to hear, now we are expanding outside Kenya. We are a local organization, really to deliver service on behalf of the Kenyan people. We are still grounded in our country. We want to make sure that we prioritize depth, quality, impact. We want to be felt. We want to make sure that we unlock those opportunities for our smallholder farmers. We want to partner with yourselves, and we want to make sure that your systems can withstand the test of time, fit for purpose, sustainable, considerate of environment, considerate of the communities that you serve, responsible business conduct, not exploitative. And we will be attracting many more partners into this space so that we can be able to co-create solutions that provide responsibility in business. And that's what we'll be looking forward to doing. We will continue with our tripartite model of delivery, where we are a facilitator, bringing together smallholder farmers through their cooperatives and producer organizations, linking them to market through SMEs, exporters, and local aggregators, ensuring that they can access affordable credit that is tailored to their needs and to the value chains in which they work in. And within this, we'll work within an ecosystem, hopefully through the apex, the value chain actors, and the platforms to create an enabling environment that will deliver value and impact. In summary, 3 key shifts that we are making. We are moving beyond credit-only solutions. It's going to be more. We want to shift from direct delivery to system-level enabling. We want to build a resilient and inclusive agri-food economy in Kenya. Allow me to take this opportunity to thank our partners that have enabled us in the past, now, and into the future to deliver on the impact that we are able to celebrate today. So as we launch our strategy today, I welcome all of you to be part of this journey, because we can only deliver impact through partnership, co-creation of solutions, and deliver value to the people we serve. Thank you so much, and may God bless.